Good afternoon and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Monday, September the 26th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Mr. Josh Crash Davis. Crash, did you survive the weekend? How are you on this Monday?
Yeah, it was a good weekend. The Brewers played pretty well this weekend. You know, they had the loss yesterday. They couldn't get the runs across the plate with Lodolo on the mound. I mean, he wasn't quite as tough as he was last time they faced him, but
Right.
he still had some decent numbers, and so they were able to take 3 out of 4. Green Bay got a big win yesterday in Tampa, so yeah, it was a good weekend.
That's good. Good. For me, I had this awesome hot streak Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Ding, 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 ding. Just awesome ride. Yesterday would be considered a crash and burn day.
Yeah.
I couldn't put the pieces together. I was close everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up, the only thing, and I gave it a 4.5 crown, and NASCAR was my only winner yesterday, of all things.
Yeah.
So,
Yesterday was a little different. I off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly who the top team ended up being, but I think who was it yesterday? Was it the Padres, or were they on a different slate?
I don't know. All I know is this. I know that I was all excited because I gave out a strong play, played them everywhere. My contrarian 1% owned Pirates rookie pitcher, the youngster, and he pitched great. He had 7 Ks, over 20 fantasy score. And I thought, all right, man, we're off to the start. And then I couldn't get the bats going. The bats just went dead on me. So I was bumming there. And then in football, I've never seen, I had 3 guys out of the game with injuries. When have you ever seen so many guys get hurt?
It's just ridiculous the way the injuries were happening yesterday.
Everybody went down.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Yeah, and so many people were on, at least David Montgomery. So many people were on him. So
yeah, it was a rough day, but streaks have to end at some point just to get other streaks going, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep, we're on to Monday, and nice little 4-game slate here. I feel like it's going to be pretty good slate. Me, I like the smaller slates usually. So
yeah, I'm not as crazy about the smaller slates, but I sort of like this slate. I think there's some good plays here that have some potential, but it's weird having a 4-game slate. That's for sure.
Yeah. We can take more time, on each game this way. So
can break it up a little bit, talk about it. Nice thing is too is we're trying to find the best time for these podcasts, and I want to try to get a great spot so that we're in the same spot every day for baseball, and then that goes into basketball. So I want to get a familiar time frame. We tried more late morning, that was okay. We did the real late afternoon, that was just okay as well, because there's so many other podcasts going on.
Right.
So we figured let's split the difference, try something in the middle of the afternoon. So today's the first day trying that, and we're going to experiment with it this week. But please let us know in chat here if you'd like this middle of the afternoon, 3 Eastern. If you don't like it and you'd prefer earlier or later, let me know. DePrince is on board for this 3 o'clock spot, so that's cool. I got a DM from Boy from Cali. He's probably going to jump in late. He has to pick up his kid at school at 3 o'clock Eastern. So, I mean, that might be a time frame that people have kid stuff going too. I just thought about that when he sent that over. So let us know. We'll figure out the best time. And again, if the good thing is it's recorded. So if you miss it live, you don't get to have fun with us in chat, but you can still watch it and look at the review anyway. So, yeah. What are you thinking, Crash? What do you think our best time's been so far as most people available?
I think we've had the most success either this time or the 5 o'clock Eastern, one of those
Yeah.
two.
Maybe we even push to like 4. Maybe that's the magic number. I don't know. But I think that's when some of the other big boys start jumping in podcasts too. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll figure it out. But I really do appreciate people giving us that info. I know it's not the same without Boy from Cali. Hopefully he gets back and can jump in towards the end. But yeah, maybe 3:30 or 3:45 might be the way to go. But we're still going to keep looking. But first of all, let
Whoa!
me thank.
Did you see when Nathan Feudy got in here?
What happened?
He got in here at 12:35 p.m. He was ready to go an hour and a half early.
Well, you know what? He beat Rodney Pollard again. So Rodney's going to get a little salty here because Rodney had a streak going where he was the first one here. And he probably looked and said, and saw Nathan, was like, what the heck's going on here?
Yeah.
So shout out to both of you, Nathan and Rodney, though. Really, really do appreciate you guys jumping in. It's awesome. Absolute power. Good to see you. To Prince. Dead Presidents, known also as Pain Blanks M or Blank SM. Haven't figured that one out, but it doesn't matter because I call him King of Pain anyway. King of all trades, of course. David, Mr. David, handsome David Dulac, I should say.
Yeah.
And Lanuka A, what's up between 4 and 5? Yeah, I'm starting to feel like maybe that 4-ish time, 3:45, 4:15, something like that might be the best spot, Crash. So
yeah.
Excellent. All right. What else did I want to go over with you? Oh, it's going to be an interesting schedule this week, guys. So we're going to have a podcast every day. Tomorrow, it's going to be Crash and I. And then Wednesday, it looks like I'm going solo. And then Thursday, you're going to get Deb. Yes, at Deluxe. Solo Thursday baseball podcast because you're going to be traveling and I'm going to be traveling.
Yeah.
And then Thursday night at 6:50, our NFL pod is going to be Deb and Steven. So that'll be really cool. Then we have this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Crash is traveling, so I'll have some solos. Steven and I will do the Saturday night at 8 o'clock. So we've got a lot of different mixtures today as we're winding down baseball. Only like, a week and a half, 2 weeks left of baseball at the most.
Yeah.
And I want to say, though, today is NBA Media Day. Come on, Dirk. Let's hear you, man. You've been sleeping for 3 months. But Media Day today in the NBA, and that starts the 16th of October, man. 2.5 weeks. Can you believe that?
So that's regular season or preseason?
First regular season game is October the 16th. The preseason starts in a week.
That's my birthday.
It is?
Yeah.
October 16th? Oh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. I'll be turning the big 4-0 on that day. So
oh my gosh. You're in the washed up range with me now.
I'm getting there. Yeah.
I love it. Well, that's good. That's awesome. And it's easy for you to remember the start of NBA. That's fantastic. All right. So anyway, that's the scoop. Keep us, we're tweaking around. I got this gut feeling that this 4-ish time, 3:45, 4:15 is going to end up being the winner eventually. But we have a decent amount in here, so it's not bad. And we haven't even talked baseball yet. Tony A, what's up, man? Great to have you in here with us. So today we start another hot streak. That's the game plan. And it's a 4-game baseball slate. No weather, possible shower in Pittsburgh, but nothing that will mess up the game. Not going to be a delay. So I think we've got 4 clean weather games going. So I've got some unique takes today, but I really like it, I've got to say. So let's dive into this sucker and go over these 4 games and get the ball rolling. We'll talk about some ownership and stacks, pitchers, all of that good stuff as well. All right, first game at 6:35, which is the lock time. So Don't get fooled and think it's 7:05 and get stuck with your holder lineups, because that happens to everybody at some point and it really sucks. So remember that it's 6:35 Eastern for the main slate. 4 games on all 3 sites, DraftKings, Fanduel, and Yahoo. Cool 62 degrees, comfortable though in Pittsburgh. Wind blowing out to left at 11 miles an hour. Maybe a passing shower, nothing that will disturb the game. 7.5 is the Vegas total. 3.41 implied for the Reds. 4.09 for the Pirates. It's Chase Anderson, 6.3K against Roansy Contreras, my buddy, 7.5K, who's coming off, a 10 strikeout game against the Yankees, something crazy like that. So that's sort of cool. And Crash, I'm going to give you the bonus 2 confirmed lineups already. We've got for the Reds, Friedel, India Farmers. What'd you say?
Friedel. Yeah.
What'd I say? Friedel?
Friedel. Yeah.
I meant to say Friedel. Friedel, India, Farmer, Steer, Fairchild, Aquino, Reynolds, Barrero, and Robinson. So not exactly a bunch of household names there. And for the Pirates, young, even younger than that, or just as young, Cruz, Reynolds, Andujar, Swazinski, Hayes, Mitchell, Newman, Collins, and Godoy. Godoy. Jose Godoy.
Yeah,
that's a new one.
That's a different name.
Yes. So, game 1, what do you think?
I like the Pirates. I think that I'm getting the echo. I like the Pirates. I think that Roansy Contreras is a good, pretty decent at least pitcher, and I think he'll hold that offense down. I mean, they're not in Cincinnati, so it's a pitcher-friendly ballpark, so it's probably going to be pretty low-scoring game. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes under that 7.5 implied run total, honestly. So,
yep. So you're going Contreras as a decent play today, and really not much hitting in this game.
Yeah, Contreras is a decent play, but he's not one of my top pitchers, which, I mean, you only need really 2 on a 4-game slate. So, yeah, he's not one of my 2.
Well, he is one of my 2, Crash. Can you believe that? I like 2 value pitchers today, because I'm telling you right now, I believe Aaron Judge hits a home run tonight. I think tonight's tonight. Yep.
Yeah. He's not my home run call, but I believe that too. Yeah.
He's got great BVP against him. I just feel it. He needed to get out of New York just to relax and breathe a little bit. It's in Toronto. I love the bats tonight, and I feel comfortable going with 2 cheap pitchers that really allows me to get to whomever I want to. If you remember, the very first start of the year for Roansy Contreras was way back in May. He came out of the bullpen a little bit early on in April, and I liked his potential and went through a bunch of his information, and it's starting to come to fruition. It's he gave up some runs the last game to the Yankees, but he did strike out 10, which is pretty impressive. And his strikeouts have been going up. He's had some really good starts. He had a quality start against Toronto, 6 innings, 1 earned run for 34. He had 42 against Philly, 22 against St. Louis, 34 against Atlanta, and then 26 against the Yankees. Those are good scores against good teams. So, I'm up here in the Northeast, north of Pittsburgh, but in that same vein, and it's chilly. It feels like fall. So I love, that Pirates stadium there, the ballpark there. The ball doesn't carry that well, and when it's cool, it really doesn't carry. So, I'm not impressed with the Reds lineup. I think Roansy can have. I expect him to go 6 innings maybe here, maybe 1 earned run, get about 6 or 7 strikeouts, and be one of the better pitchers on the slate. So, very high on him. No Cincinnati bats. And for the reasons I stated about the ballpark, I'm not crazy about Bucco's bats either. Maybe a one-off, but it's going to be Roansy or bust in the early game for me.
Yeah, I said he wasn't one of my two. Now I think about it, he actually is one of my two on DraftKings and Yahoo. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I do like Ronesy.
Okay.
He's been pitching a little bit less, the last couple starts, but those were in New York and in Cincinnati.
Right.
Only 4 2/3 and 4 innings. But he did pitch before that, 5 1/3, 6, 5, 7, 6, 6. So yeah, I think he should definitely get 6 innings probably. He had a 6-inning game against them earlier this year. That was actually in Cincinnati too. So yeah, Ronesy Contreras will be one of my pitchers. For some reason, I was thinking I was going to go to Gossman, but I'm not going to. I think the Yankees are going to hit him up pretty good.
Me too. And
Yeah.
Gossman's going to be popular. So, I mean, it
Mhm.
goes both ways there. The thing with Contreras too is he pitches basically like 90 pitches every game. So I think they have like an invisible type of cap on him. He's young. They don't want to blow him out. So he's
Yeah.
like every game, it's like 89, 92, 96, 89, 94, 87. So, I think they want to keep him around that number. But with Cincinnati, I think he can get deep into the fifth or even, through 6 against this squad. So I'm counting on him.
Especially in Pittsburgh. I mean, that ball does not carry. So
No, 62 in heavy air. Yeah, I don't think the
Mhm.
ball's going to carry well there
No.
at all. So, all right, excellent. Let's go on to game 2. It is at 7:05. It's the Atlanta Braves at the Washington Nationals. 70 degrees in Washington, a little warmer, 8 miles an hour out to right. Big total here, tied with the Yankees game at 9.5 in Vegas. Big 6 for the Braves and 3.5 for the Nationals. Bryce Elder, 8.4K against Corey Abbott, 5.5K. What do you got?
I like the well, of course the Braves, but I like Bryce Elder too. He's my other pitcher for today. I've used him a couple times recently. He had a really good start against the Marlins a couple starts ago. And this Washington team, they may not strike out a whole lot, but they also don't score a lot of runs. So I feel like him and Ronesy kind of give you a nice, 1-2, 1A, 1B, however you want to look at it. And you can pair them up with some more expensive bats like the Braves and the Yankees and the Red Sox. So that's kind of the direction I'm leaning.
100% the same. And so we're identical today. We're both on these two pitchers. We both like Judge and some of the Yankees bats. I mean,
They're not the most chalky. I mean, they're really not.
No.
I mean, Judge is 14% projected last I saw. So
yeah. So let's go over those numbers because it's amazing that we have the exact same take on a day when that is not going to be the chalk by any stretch of the imagination. So let's look at those numbers right now and I'll update them so we get the latest. All right, stacks we'll talk about first. Let's look at those on DraftKings. Atlanta, of course, number 1, as expected, 21.5% with a 30% chance of being the top stack. Baltimore is second at 20% with a 16% chance of being the top stack. Third is Boston at 18.5 with a 15.5% chance of top stack. Then the Buccos at 12% with a 9% chance. Cincinnati, though, is next, right behind them at 8 and 7.5. Yankees, third from the bottom, Crash.
How in the world? I don't understand.
Because of Gausman. Yeah.
Yeah, but he hasn't even been that good lately.
Yeah.
That's just mind-blowing to me. I mean,
It
it's
is.
not like it's like extremely pitcher-friendly ballpark either. So I don't know.
It's interesting. 7.5% Yankees, 8 to be the top stack. So there are plus, leverage too there. But interesting. Bottom 2 teams, Washington, and then the bottom team is Toronto.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
crazy.
that wild?
That is wild. Yeah, I mean,
I was shocked.
Yeah, I don't think Severino's a shutdown pitcher by any means. I mean, I could probably see going to some Blue Jays bats too then if that's the case.
It is really really flipped. Then as far as FanDuel goes, it's we've got 28% on Atlanta, 30% top stack, 21 Boston. Boston getting a lot of love here. 17% to be best. Baltimore third, 18.5, 16 to be best. Buccos 12.2 with 9% to be top. Then we've got Cincinnati 6.5, Yankees 6.3, Washington 4.1, and Toronto dead last at 3.6. Yahoo 38% Atlanta, all the way down to 17% for Boston. So Atlanta's just being owned like crazy, which is a little dangerous from the leverage standpoint for sure.
Yeah.
14% Baltimore, 10% Pirates, 6% Reds, Toronto 6, Washington 5, and dead last, the New York Yankees at 4. That's how much people love Gausman.
Yeah, man.
Isn't
That sounds like GPP stacked the Yankees to the max to me.
I mean, if we're not playing Gausman, which we're not, and most people are, I guess that's one way to look at it. But as far as this Braves Nationals game, Abbott's terrible. So you got to have some Braves in there. Who's standing out from you from the Braves side in your stack?
I like the next 3 after Acuna, and I don't have anything against Acuna. He's just projected to be the highest owned player last I checked. So I like Swanson, Riley, and Olsen. Those would be my favorite 3. If Rosario was going to be in the lineup, I was going to have him as a value play, but I don't see him as a projected starter. So
I have him projected as 7th in my one.
Okay. Well,
so
he will possible. He will be in my lineup if he's in there. So
the projected I have, by the way, is Acuna, Swanson, Riley, Olsen, d'Arnaud, Harris, Rosario, Grissom, and Grossman.
Okay.
So
we'll wait for the official word, but then that would definitely make me want to get Rosario in there. And I mean Grissom, Harris, those guys are playable. There's a lot of bats that you could go to in this Atlanta lineup.
Yeah, there's no question. And I don't think you have to stack just the middle. You can move around, and take a couple guys from each side.
Exactly. To get some of those lower owned guys, I wouldn't necessarily stack all the top high salary, high owned guys. You can get to the bottom of that lineup and get some leverage against the field for sure.
And I'm not a huge wraparound stack guy unless it just looks beautiful like this one. I mean, Grissom, Grossman, and then back up top to Acuna and Swanson. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Good stuff.
And then on the Washington side, there's not really a lot that I like. I mean, Meneses has still been hot, but I like him more against lefties, as we talked about. So,
yep, definitely. Sean V has joined us. All right, man. King of Smacks in there also. What's up, guys? Great to see you in here. I don't see Gaussy to get hit tonight. So he's King of Smack. You like Gausman? I mean, he's popular. It's certainly not on a pitching lineup that's not super studs anywhere. He is definitely the most established pitcher, but I don't know. You look at some of the BVP against him and Judge, and I feel like the Yankees are going to hit a little bit tonight. I really do. So we will see. And we're going to be unique. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. We always have around the same amount. So we keep changing times, trying to figure out the best time. We always get our go-to people. So we love you guys for being in here with us. Hopefully we can spike it up and get some more folks to join in. But looking good. All right, let's go to game 3. It is exactly what we said, the Yankees and Blue Jays. It is only a 7.5 total. The game's at 7:07 in Toronto. I don't know if it'll be open or closed. I have a feeling it's going to be closed because it's a little too cool. So if that's the case, that does usually calm bats down a little bit more hitting when the roof's open. but it's still a hitter's ballpark, though, and without question. So it's a 7.5 total, 3.65 for the Yankees, 3.85 for the Blue Jays. Luis Severino is 10K, and Mr. Gas Can Gaussman 10.3K. So I'm hoping he has a gas can today. So what do you think here? What's the word?
I like, as you mentioned, I think Judge, he was feeling the pressure in New York to get that 61st home run, especially with the Maris family in the stands watching. I mean, that was a lot of pressure, and I just think that it was a little bit too much between that and the fact that everyone, started walking him a lot more because they don't want to be in the history books as the guy that gave up 61 to Judge. So I like, of course, Judge, but Gleyber Torres has been playing really well. I like him. Stanton's price went way up. I did like him initially, but he's now 3,500 on Fanduel and 5,100 on DraftKings. He was way down there before that.
Yeah, he really jumped up.
I like Oswaldo Cabrera, though. I've been pretty impressed with him, in the last couple of weeks. So I would like to get to him. Probably a couple of Yankees bats. On the other side, I think Matt Chapman, Vladimir Guerrero would probably be my two favorite righties. They have all righties except for Tapia in their lineup, so in their projected lineup. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I like the bats here. This is the game I'm going to have probably the most ownership for sure. Judge is going to be in my lineup with the two more inexpensive pitchers. I can get to him. He's leading off, and he's 8 for 22 lifetime. So he's my home run call. So how cool would it be to have your home run call hit his 61st for you? I think that'd be cool. So 8 for
Oh, sorry. I was going to say he's my BVP play. So, right along the same lines of thinking there.
8 for 22 lifetime against Mr. Gaussman for a nice 364 average. 5 of those 8 hits were extra base hits, and 3 of them were dingers. And he's walked 5 times. So, again, if they pitch around him, they pitch around him. But I think he's going to get some pitches to hit. 1364 OPS, 864 slugging, 500 OBP, and a 364 average. So my BVP play is on the other side here, and it's Rafael Devers. He's small sample size. I get it. 5 for 15 against Lyles, and he's got 3 extra base hits, a home run, 1,000 OPS, 667 slugging, and that 333 average. So that's a different game. Boston, Baltimore, not on the other side of the ball. I misstated that, but I like Devers as my other Rafael Devers as my BVP guy. Those are my 2 guys. But as far as other bats in this game is what I'm trying to get back to. I think you can go to a lot of different spots. Stinking Rizzo has not come through for me when I play him, but I still think he's, going to get good pitches to hit. I think Gleyber Torres has been underpriced all year for batting in the middle of that lineup. So he's playable for me, and Stanton is not a play for me. I didn't like Stanton. I haven't liked his swing in a couple months, and his price now is just ridiculous how much it went up.
Right. Well, he does have really good numbers. I mean, it's a small sample size, but 5 for 9 with a homer against Gaussman. So, but I mean, his price has gone to the point where it's not anywhere near the value that we were getting, last week. So,
but Donaldson, Cabrera, Bader, I like all those guys. So, don't be surprised if I have a good 3 Yankees in my lineup. And then on the Toronto side, it's a little trickier. I'm not high on Severino, but I do respect him. So, where do you go there? I mean, Bichette at 6K is a tough price, and Vladdy at 6.1. So that makes it very difficult. But I think, Springer's almost 6K as well. So, I mean, it's gotten to the point now at the top of this Toronto lineup where they've made it almost unstackable. So I think you'll see a lot of people going to Kirk, Chapman, Hernandez if you're going to go Blue Jays. So more of a one-off, 2 at the very most Blue Jays, but I'm going to have more Yankees coverage overall.
Yeah, the Yankees are probably my top stack as far as, ownership leverage. I think I slightly like Boston over them, but the Yankees are right there neck and neck with the Red Sox for me.
All right. Boy from Cali's back from picking up the little one. Great to have you in here. We're toying with 330, 345, 4, something like that, Boy from Cali. So we're going to get to the point where it makes sense for everybody because we want to get everybody in here to check us out. Bev, how you doing? Thank you for joining us again. And let's see. We've got one game left. I want to talk about pitcher ownership. How's that sound?
Okay.
Because we haven't broken that down. And I think that's a big deal for you and I because Gausman is definitely the top owned pitcher.
And we're both fading him.
Yeah, 45% on DraftKings projected with a 45% chance of being a top pitcher. So that we're contrarian, man. 40% Roansy Contreras with 34% of being top pitcher. Who thought you'd say that,
Yeah, really.
And followed by the other guy we like, Bryce Elder, 36% owned. So it's not like we've got, total contrarian pitchers. It's just we don't have the chalk pitcher in Gausman.
Yeah.
And then he's followed by Severino at 27. Somehow Chase Anderson's at 22%. I guess because it is hard to hit in Pittsburgh with the cooler weather. And then Seaborn for the Red Sox at 15, Abbott at 10, Jordan Lyles is last at 6. On FanDuel, Gausman 42, all the way down to Contreras at 24. So massive chalk there. If we can get Gausman out of this game crash, we're going to be in good shape.
Yeah.
But that's a big if,
Right. Well, I mean, if Judge hits a home run right off the bat and then they get a couple guys on and then Stanton or Torres or somebody knocks one out, I mean, they could it's not Torres. Who was I thinking of? Yeah, Torres. Yeah.
Then we have Elder at 21. So those are the only 3 getting any ownership at all on FanDuel. And then it falls completely off a cliff. Severino 6, Seaborn 3, Anderson 3, Abbott and Lyles 1. So Gausman, Contreras, and Elder are really the only guys that are on the single lineup on FanDuel. And then on Yahoo, it's even more incredible. Gausman 62%. That's what I call chalk.
Yeah, that's
but with only a 44% chance of being the top stack, so you got a minus 18% on the leverage number.
Right,
so
right.
That's interesting. Elder's actually second highest projected on Yahoo over Contreras because he's $5 cheaper. The other reason Gausman's so high owned on Yahoo is because he's only $43, which is pretty cheap. 31 for Elder and $36 for Contreras. But he's at 45%. Severino 22, Anderson at 12, Seaborn 9, and then again Lyles and Abbott basically unowned. So, all right, last game. Let's finish this out. Although our lineups are going to look almost identical tonight, it sounds like.
Yeah,
we've
pretty
got
pretty
go
close.
ahead.
No, pretty close. Yeah.
Baltimore Orioles at the Boston Red Sox at 7:10. So no late games at all. You can watch a lot of that Cowboys Giants game. So we'll be posting lineups for that as well. You and Steven will be for sure tonight. That should be interesting. For the record, you guys know I'm a Cowboys fan, but I think the Giants are going to smack them. I'd lean Giants, by the way. All right, Baltimore Orioles, Boston Red Sox, 68 degrees in Boston. Wind blowing out, though, right over the Green Monster at 14 miles an hour. That helps the sticks a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why you've got a 9.5 total here. So tied for the highest total with that Braves Nationals game. It's 4.58 implied for Baltimore, 4.92 for the Red Sox. Jordan Lyles, as we said, 7.9K. Connor Siebold, 5K. And we do have the Boston lineup confirmed, and Kike Hernandez leading off again. He hasn't been leading off much this year. Then Devers, my BVP pick, Bogarts, Verdugo, Martinez, Cassis, Ref Snyder, McGuire, and Almonte is the Boston lineup. So where are you going in that game?
Yeah, I'm glad that we got that lineup because I was really having a hard time trying to decide between Tommy Pham and Brian Reynolds. And so now I don't have to worry about that. I could just go with Reynolds. So that's good to know. Kike Hernandez, I like a lot. Devers is my home run call. The righties have actually had the most success here against Lyles, believe it or not. So
reverse
leaning
split.
more towards the reverse splits, stack here. I might have Cassis. He's been pretty good. I know he's a lefty, but he's been hitting the ball pretty well. I played him a little bit lately in the showdown games with the Yankees, and I've been pretty impressed with him from what I've seen from him at the plate. So I like the Red Sox. Probably my favorite stack overall tonight.
Excellent. I might get noise in here about my being a Cowboys fan.
Probably. I don't know.
Guys, you got to remember, I lived in Dallas for 20 years. And even though I'm back in PA now, I mean, when you live in Dallas, you're either a Cowboys fan or they run you out of town. So unfortunately, I'm in that mix. But, it is what it is. So love you guys. Though I did see that last night. That's why when you mentioned, David, in Discord about the Giants, I put the little Cowboys hat dude on there. So there you go. Yeah, Fam's out. So we'll see there. I like Kike. I've always liked him, and I really like him in the leadoff spot.
For sure.
I like bats in this group. I think Boston deservedly is getting a lot of attention in the stack side of things, and that's certainly where I'm going to go. But I'd like a one-off Baltimore guy. I always enjoy them. And remember, it's a massive ballpark upgrade for those Baltimore bats, especially the right-handed hitters that, try to hit it out and left. I mean, instead of going 80 miles now in Baltimore to get it out, you've got the Green Monster with a wind blowing out to the Green Monster. So big upgrade for the Baltimore Sticks there. I'll tell you, between the two games that are both 9.5 totals, those are the two games I think, are going to get a lot of ownership. And then the Yankees game as the third one in the mix. I like all three of those games tonight.
Yeah.
I like overs, by the way. I think there will be runs tonight other than the Pittsburgh game.
Yep. And I like a few of the value bats for Baltimore. Taron Vavra. And if Ronald Odor's in the lineup, I like him too, but I don't know that he's going to be in there. And of course, our two guys, Henderson and Rutschman, we can't forget about them either. So
correct.
In multiple lineups, I'll definitely have some variation of some Baltimore bats. So
yeah. And good point from Boy from Cali. You got to really watch the suspect guys that are going to get pinch hit for. And it might even be earlier in the game than you want. You can sometimes only get 2, but usually 3 at bats from somebody. But a lot of these teams that are playing different combinations, a guy like Pham or whomever is going to definitely pinch hit when the situation serves itself. So you do have to watch that if you are going any wraparound stacks or anybody late in lineups. That can be a real concern. There's no doubt about it. All right, so let's wrap it up as far as what our ups and downs are here. For me, I'm going with the two young pitchers, Contreras and Elder. I believe they're going to get me there. My fade is Gausman. I think all three the same for us, Crash, there. That's the first time all year that's happened.
I think so. Yeah.
It's only a 4-game slate, though, so that
right. But
still,
152 games without that happening.
Yeah, that's a long stretch.
Yeah.
my BVP Devers, my home run call judge, which is awesome. My stacks are Yankees, a little mini stack Braves. You got to have some Braves here.
Yeah.
And then I like the Red Sox. Those are my stacks.
Okay. I have, as you mentioned, all three pitchers the same: Elder Contreras, Fade, Gossman. My BVP play is Aaron Judge, and my home run call is Rafael Devers. So 23 of 27 home runs against right-handed pitchers, 333 against Lyles with a home run. So solid numbers there across the board. And then my stacks are the same: Red Sox, Braves, and some Yankees. So
wow, unbelievable, man.
Pretty crazy.
It's banker bust tonight for our lineups, but why not? Let's knock it out. Let's go.
We'll have a little bit variation, I think, on Fanduel, because it sounds like you'll probably have Roansy as your pitcher. Is that right, or are you going to go with Elder?
Roansy.
Okay, yeah. So we'll have a little bit variation there, but our DraftKings and our Yahoo is going to be almost identical. So,
I know it. Hey, I'll be happy to split with you, sir. No problem.
I'm with you.
All right, let's go to our PrizePicks plays of the day.
Okay.
I'll throw mine in there. I'm going with Roansy Contreras over 4.5 strikeouts. Like I said, he's coming off a 10K game against the Yankees, and I'm looking for him to get a good 6 strikeouts in this game. So feel good about that over 4.5. And then Aaron Judge, 7.5. That's it. Over 7.5 pitcher fantasy score. I feel like that is a really, really solid play. So I really do like that 2-bagger on PrizePicks.
Yeah, and I'd hate to see it, but if they walked him 4 times, that would get you there.
Yeah. Well, Rizzo's behind him, so
right.
We know Sean V's a massive Rizzo fan, so we got to get Sean V. Are you on Rizzo tonight, my man? I hope so, because I think he's in a good spot.
Yeah, I do too. So mine are on PrizePicks are Rafael Devers over 1.5 total bases. As I mentioned, he's my home run call, but I definitely think that he'll get a couple hits or home run. And then Bryce Elder over 27.5 pitcher fantasy score is my other play.
Yeah, that seems like a very fair number.
I think so too. He had 32.5 last time he faced him. So yeah, I think it's pretty good.
All right. Let's go to Boom Fantasy. I want to thank Boom Fantasy for being our presenting sponsor, by the way. And we'll give 2 picks each. Do you have your Boom Fantasy called up?
Yeah, I do. I've got.
For it.
Did you say Bryce Elder or Roansy Contreras on your strikeout prop earlier?
Roansy Contreras over 4.5.
Okay, so I've got Bryce Elder over 4.5 strikeout on the pick'em toss-ups. And then I have Devers the same play over 1.5 total bases.
Very nice. Well, my first play is Devers over 1.5 total bases. So this is so crazy how we usually disagree on most stuff, but man, we're on the same boat here. My other play is over 2.5 earned runs for Connor Seabold.
Yeah.
I like that play. I think he gives up 4 or 5 tonight.
I like that.
So those are my Boom Fantasy plays. Couple of things real quickly. Thank you, boy, from Cali. Hit that thumbs up. We really do appreciate that. We need some more thumbs up. We want to crawl up that algorithm on YouTube. So hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Hit the alert button in the upper corner so that you know when our podcast posts, because we've been flipping around times trying to get the exact time right on the money to make sure that we can get the most people in here. So we do appreciate that. If you're watching us live on Twitter, hit the like and retweet so other folks have a chance to see it as well. And our podcast, we've been forgetting to remind people, we only have 5 days left in the month. And what I want to do is get a little bit more money in the till. So if you can super chat us here during any of our live podcasts, football or baseball, if you super chat, it goes right into the kitty for 100% donation to charity. This month's charity is David Dulack's, which is Operation Hope. So we would appreciate that when you can. If you have some winners and you want to dip a little in there, we really would appreciate that. Also, Boom Fantasy. If you want to try them out and you haven't yet, you got to do it. We have a link attached right to us here in YouTube, in the bio. Same thing on Twitter. And if you want to go to our page, it's dfscoachtalk.com is our website home. We also have the link in there, and you can also sign up. Also, Crash, the big announcement I want to make today is that we will be announcing this week our NBA membership. I am so fired up, man. I'm going crazy. So fired up. NBA starts on your birthday, as we said, October 16th. And we're going to have an NBA package where you'll be able to pay X amount. And, we're going to make it very affordable for everybody. And the season goes until April 9th, which is almost my birthday. So it goes from your birthday to my birthday almost. That is a long season. So we keep getting the 4 to 5 o'clock time frame. I think that might be a winner. We're probably going to have to look at maybe that time. I think one of our big opponents starts at 4, though, too. And I don't want to bang heads if we don't have to. So I'm thinking we might get a little tricky and do like a 345er or something like that. Try to beat everybody to the punch, but not be too early. So we'll try that out. In fact, I mean, it's you and I tomorrow because Deb is covering Thursday. Can you do 345 tomorrow, Crash?
Yeah.
All right. So there you go, guys. So we're shifting a little bit to, we want to get Boy from Cali home from picking up the little one. We want to make sure we get Nathan and some of these folks in here. So we're going to try 345 tomorrow to get that done. Cooper Rush was the Giant with the Giants before Dallas. Yeah, I know. I'm telling you right now, David, I think the Giants win by at least 2 touchdowns. So
for what it's worth, you said the same thing about the Bengals. So just saying.
I did. I tell you, if you could predict some of those, and somebody said it in here, they're Colts. How the hell did the Colts beat the Chiefs? I mean, there were some games that just didn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy early in the year.
Football's
I think things will
hard.
settle down a little bit more to the norm after a few weeks. But some of these teams got new coaches, new playbooks, a lot of stuff like that they're working through. But I think it'll kind of work itself out back to closer.
I don't know. I think the NFL is almost impossible to bet. I hats off to you guys that can attack it. It's just it's so volatile to me. I mean, it's tough.
It is tough. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Before we head out the door, Crash, since we don't have a Monday pod yet in football, we've been talking about it, but the Colts legit. Okay, I'm with you, man. I know the Colts are legit. You want to give any football takes on tonight? Not to put you on the spot, but for me, I'm going to be stacking a bunch of Giant stuff. I'll just tell you that right now.
Yeah. Let me look at something real quick here.
Yeah, just not to put you on the spot, but since we're not going to be live for football tonight, we're going to be posting lineups for our members. And if you didn't know and you're not a member, we provide a core build for DraftKings, both for single entry and for GPP. And then we give full lineups on Fanduel and Yahoo. Football Crash, what do you got?
Yeah, a couple plays I like tonight. Richie James from the Giants, and with Dalton Schultz likely to be inactive, I like Jake Ferguson. He was the tight end for the Badgers, so I've seen him quite a bit. That dude catches everything. He doesn't drop the ball. So if he gets a pass, in the end zone, it's going to be a touchdown. If he gets he can make some plays. So he's a guy to keep an eye on in the GPP for sure. I think he's only like 2,000 or something like that, maybe even less on DraftKings. So I like him a lot.
Super cheap. Yep. Yeah. So to answer you, Tony 8, no, the Dallas starting tight end is out. And so that doesn't help matters.
Yeah.
Boy from Cali's calling it a Zeke night. It could be. I'm just always afraid that Pollard grabs the ball inside the 10,
Yeah, I will say I don't like Ezekiel Elliott tonight. I think
Ooh.
Tony Pollard will get the share of the carries and the receptions out of the backfield.
You think Pollard's going to get more carries than Zeke?
I do.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that one.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's going to be, if what happens like you think it will happen, Coach, then Dallas will be trailing. So I think they'll be throwing the ball more, and that's where Pollard really can shine. So,
well, I agree with you there, but I don't think on flat carries that he's going to carry it more. I think Pollard could have as good of a fantasy game as Zeke, but I don't think he's going to carry the ball more. But
yeah, well, Jake Ferguson, to go back to that, what I was looking up, he's only $200, so that's just a free square.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, then there's your way to get,
yeah,
whoever you want in there.
7,500 on Fanduel, and he is $10 on Yahoo. So yeah, he's going to be super chalky. I would think. Yeah.
Well, tomorrow when we go live at 3:45, you're either going to have to eat crow with Boy from Cali, or Boy from Cali's going to eat crow, because he's calling for the good Zeke game, and you're writing poor Zeke off. I wouldn't write Zeke off. He's still decent. I do think they're going to have to throw to try to get back into a game that I just don't think they're going to match up well with. But all right, we wanted to touch on it. We did. Who's your captain? That's what they're asking, Crash. Who's your captain in football?
Saquon Barkley in Saquon Barkley in cash, single entry, and in GPP CeeDee Lamb.
Interesting.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I like Barkley as my captain too, Chalk City, but that's okay. And I'll be rooting. I mean, I don't let my rooting interest. You should never let your rooting interests bother you as far as playing DFS. If you do that, you're setting yourself up for a loss. So you have to you could still root for your game, but play different in DFS. And that's certainly what I'm going to do tonight. But all right, somehow we found a way to get to almost an hour on 4 games. I don't know how we did it, Crash, but we did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got into a little bit of NFL. We went pretty in depth on each game. I think it's fine though. It's a good.
Can you set up a members only showdown slate contest tonight, Crash? Because now you got Boy from Cali all fired up, and I want to get in there too.
Okay.
It's not that hard to do, is it?
No, it's not hard at all.
Yeah, all right, so it'll be members only. Crash will put the link in there for that showdown slate, so we can talk some serious trash tonight between the Giants fans out there and David and our Cowboys fan here and all this Zeke talk. We should have some stuff flying back and forth tonight. So take a look in Discord. We'll post that showdown slate contest in there and go after it. Bragging rights.
Are we doing a $5, $1? What do we do?
Do a $5. $5 is always fun. It doesn't break anybody, but if you win it, you got a few coins to play with.
All right.
All right, guys. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Tomorrow, catch Crash and I live at 3:45. No Deb tomorrow because she's going to do the baseball slate on Thursday. So she's going to do that solo. So be prepared Thursday. She's doing that at 4:00. That was the time, or 3:00. That's the only time she could do it. 3:00 on Thursday for her. So definitely give her some support. She's going to be flying solo for the first time on the baseball slate. So it should be fun. Yeah. All right. That is it, my friends. Great day. Fun one. Let's have a great baseball slate tonight. Hopefully we get judged to 61 and enjoy that football game. And then Crash and I will be back tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB DFS, Prize Picks, and Boom Fantasy.